guys, I'm here today to do a book unhaul. Yes, this is another book unhaul. This is my 6th one I've done on my channel, and I'll link the other ones below if you want to check them out. But I just recently have been running out of a lot of room on my bookshelves, and I don't really have anywhere to put more bookshelves, so for me that means I need to get rid of books instead of buying more bookshelves, which is other people's logic. But I just went through, and these are books that, like, yes, I've read all of these books, and yes, I did enjoy a lot of them, but not enough to keep them, I guess, and I'll just let you see what ones and why I'm getting rid of them, and again, I will explain why for all of them. So first, I'm going to get rid of these 2 Meg Cabot books. These were in a series. I believe they aren't even, like, there's 3 books in the series, and I think I got rid of the first one already, and these were like 2 and 3, and or some other way around. I don't really remember. I read these like a year or 2 ago, and I did really like them. They're all told in like emails and texts and like memos and stuff like that, and I know one of them was like really funny. I think it was this one. I think this one was super funny, and I'm sure this one was good too because I kept them both, but they're just not ones I'm going to reread. I don't really have an urge to reread them. I mean, I kept on to a lot of these books for so long because I did think I would reread them, but I don't think I'm going to. Then I'm getting rid of The Almost Truth by Elaine Cook. When I read this, I know I super loved it. It was like a con man story, but now thinking about it, it's not really that special as I thought it was, and I don't think I'd reread it. Then I'm going to get rid of Lies My Girlfriend Told Me by Julie Ann Peters. I listened to this on audiobook last year, so I've never actually read this physical copy. Look how tiny it is. The audiobook took like 8 hours. This literally would have taken like an hour to read. The font is so big. Why audiobook? And it was, again, an okay story, just not one of her better stories, not one I want to keep. Then I'm getting rid of Grace's Guide by Grace Helbig. This was like a self-help guide, just not very useful to me in my opinion, like just not anything to do with my life. Like, I didn't find anything useful or helpful. It wasn't even really that funny, and she's supposed to be funny. I just don't know if like on print it wasn't funny. So yeah, just not one I would want to keep. And I'm getting rid of Sisterland by Curtis Sittingfield. I really love her book Prep. It's one of my favorite books of all time, and I did enjoy the story. It's about 2 twin sisters and their lives like growing up together, and the back makes it seem like this big like conflict between them, but really like they were friends the whole book, so it was kind of weird back. But it was just, again, an okay story. I did enjoy it, but didn't love it. Then I'm getting rid of 34 Pieces of You by Cameron Rodriguez. This was a book told in like 3 points of view about a girl's suicide, and it just reminded me too much of 13 Reasons Why by Jay Asher, and I super love that story, and if I wanted to reread a story, I would just reread that one instead of this one. Then I have Hello, I Love You by Katie M. Stout. I totally forgot I even read this book. I was super looking forward to it because it's kind of about K-pop. It's about a girl who goes to Korea for her senior year of high school and falls in love with a K-pop artist. I love K-pop, but the story wasn't anything special. Nothing special happened. It was just okay, and I totally forgot I even owned it until I was cleaning my shelves, and I was like, oh yeah. So, just gonna get rid of it. The Light and the Black by DJ McCall. This is in the Morpheus Road series. I super loved The Light. This one was just retelling this story, so boring, didn't care, and I do want to see how the series concludes, but I will just get the 3rd book from the library. Then, kind of surprising for me, I'm going to get rid of The Book of Ivy and its sequel, The Revolution of Ivy. I know I like just talked about how I loved this book and like got this book and read them, but it's just not anything I would reread. Like, it was super good reading it. The sequel wasn't special at all compared to it though. Anything I need to keep. Next, I'm going to part with Reign of Shadows by Sophie Jordan. This is the start of a series. I don't think it was a very strong start. It wasn't a very exciting book at all, and I'm not even really, you know, intrigued with the other books. I don't really want to read them, but if I ever do, I'll just get them from the library. Then I have King's Rising by C.S. Pacat. This is the Captive Prince series. I read 1 and 2. I think I read 1 from the library and 2 from my friend Ashley from Tea Leaves and Bookbindings, and I know she would have bought 3 and I could have borrowed it from her, but she's in Disney until August, so I just like really needed to read it when it came out, so I purchased it. And it's just not one I'm ever going to read again. I don't need just the third book. I'm not going to buy 1 and 2. If I ever want to reread it, I'll borrow it from her or the library. So I just don't need the third book. And I'm getting rid of a series. It's the Mara Dyer series, the Unbecoming of Mara Dyer. I don't know, it was okay. Like, I really liked this first one. Mara is a unreliable, like, main character. You don't really know what's going on. I loved the first book, I hated the second book, and I enjoyed the third book. So I don't want to read these 3 massive books like ever again. So just get them off my shelf. They're taking up too much room. Then I have Something Real by Heather Demetriosis. I again forgot all about this book until I was cleaning my shelves. I really did enjoy it last year when I read it, but I also read another book exactly like this by A.S. King, and then it made me not really like this one as much because I did not like that A.S. King one, and it's just reality TV. I love reality TV, like some of it, but like I just don't need to read it again. Then I'm partying with Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close. I did not enjoy this at all. I would not recommend it. The movie was okay. It was just a very all over the place book and just not enjoyable. Then I'm going to get rid of Yelena Vanishing. This was like a memoir about a girl with an eating disorder, and it was just very sad, and I just don't want to read it again. I can read like, I'd rather read like fictional books with girls with eating disorders and then the end is happy than like a real life one that's really sad, and yeah, I just don't want to read it again. Then I'm going to part with Paper Girls issue 1. I got this in a unboxing video a while ago and finally got around to reading it, but like I didn't enjoy it enough to keep it. Then I'm going to part with After the Woods by Kim Savage. This one was just okay. Again, not anything special, not anything I want to reread. Next, I'm going to part with Sinner by Maggie Stiefvater. I don't even own the Shiver trilogy. I read that all from the library, and I think I got it from my used bookstore like 2 years ago, and it was okay. It was okay. That's about it. And then I really loved this character, Cole St. Clair. So when I found this art copy, I super like, you know, loved Cole St. Clair, so I kept it around for like 2 years, but I'm never gonna reread it. I'm never gonna reread that series. And like, I love Cole St. Clair, but I don't need this like 4th book in a series just because it's about him. And yeah, let's just give it to someone else who loves the series. Next, I'm going to part with Beautiful Disaster by Jamie McGuire. This again was pretty horrible, very bad relationship, very abusive, like boy in this book. I feel like he was just very controlling. If he didn't get his way, he just like freaked out, and so I just didn't like it. It was very unhealthy, and I did not think it was a good book. Then I'm going to get rid of Passenger by Alexander Bracken. I read this in like, I don't even remember, last month or 2 months ago or so, and I just didn't really enjoy it. It's like a time travel book, which I'm not that into. There's only like been 1 or 2 that I've actually kind of enjoyed, and I just didn't enjoy this one, but I'm sure someone else will be super excited to see this at the bookstore. And then I'm going to get rid of Never Always Sometimes by Audie Alsed. This one again was just okay. I liked it okay, just not enough to reread. And I'm parting with My Life Undecided by Jessica Brody. I super loved this when I read it like a year or 2 ago, but again, thinking of it now, it was just like a high school, you know, computer-y drama story, and I don't care enough to reread it. Next, I'm getting rid of these 6 books in the Sailor Moon manga series. I was just like so excited for this when it came out. I bought it and I didn't really enjoy them. Like, I gave them all 2 or 3 stars. I just thought it was okay, very repetitive, kind of a boring story, and like I really was gonna buy like, you know, the next 6 and was like gonna do it, but these were expensive and it's just not worth it in my opinion. I should have just borrowed them from the library. It's not, I just didn't think they're special. I guess the older I am, the less special they seemed. And then I'm going to part with the art copy of Air of Fire by Sarah J. Maas. I've just been keeping this around forever because it is signed. I think there's a signature in here somewhere. Oh, see? Yeah. It's signed, But like, I have all the finished copies, and this was like my least favorite book in the series anyway, so like, and it's big. There's nowhere to put this. Like, it's just too big. It's just taking up room. And someone else who like loves this series and wants her signature can have it. Like, I do think it's cool that it's signed, which is like why I got it in the first place, but like, it's okay, I don't need it. I have all these Magic Treehouse books. I am going to hopefully, you know, read them before I get rid of them, because I was trying to collect them all, but I don't want to own them. These took up like a whole shelf of my bookshelf, and it's ridiculous, and I just don't need them, but I will hopefully get to them, like, and you know, as I read them, I will give them back to my local used bookstore, but I just don't need to hang around with, like, I just don't need to keep these, and they're just taking up too much space on my bookshelf. Hi guys, that was my rather large book unhaul, and I hope you enjoyed. If there's some books that you have unhauled recently, you should let me know below, and thank you guys so much for watching. Bye guys!